Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Mayhem, the podcast of indie game studio Total Mayhem Games. My name is Nena, and I am the community manager at TMG. And you might have noticed that we changed the name of the podcast. This is true. This just made a little bit more sense to us because this podcast is not necessarily a weekly podcast, so that's why we decided to change it in this name. So today's Mayhem will include some Christmas related updates, a Q&A with one of the co-founders and managing director Lucia, some studio insights and some sneak peeks of the upcoming game We Were Here Forever, today's question and much more. So, did I get your attention? I thought so. Let's get started. Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, full of friends, family, good food, presents, especially presents, and fun and cozy times with others. So, to match these holiday feelings, we are again celebrating 12 days of Christmas with our very own online social media advent calendar. So, what does this mean? It means that every day we will open a new window of the Advent calendar starting from the 12th until the 24th of December, and each window will reveal a present. So if you're interested and if you want to participate and have a chance on winning some nice little gifts, then definitely check out our awesome Advent calendar on our social media channels. And we know we all love presents, but have you actually seen how cool our advent calendar looks? The art for this is made by our artist Rocky, and we absolutely love it. So Rocky first sketched 5 rough ideas for a calendar, as you can see here. And then we all picked the second one. We actually like them all, but there's just a lot of stuff happening on the second one, and that is great for an advent calendar because you're always looking at something interesting. So he then continued his sketch and turned it into this version, to then eventually turn it into this beautiful final version. Another fun Christmas related update is that the yearly Christmas event in We Were Here Together is now live, meaning that you can go to the base camp and light up your Christmas tree by solving a unique Christmas puzzle. So, grab your buddy, get into the game, and make the base camp all cozy and Christmas ready and light up that tree. And don't forget to share some screenshots with us of you and your buddy in front of the Christmas tree, for example, because we would love to see this and we would like to share your screenshots on our social media channels as well. Then we cannot conclude this topic without a little message from said the jester. So let's hear what the jester has to say.
Fill his halls with mortal holly, ya la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Despite the cold wind and weather, ya la 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 la. We were here all together. Merry Christmas.
Moving on to the Q&A, we received 2 very interesting questions last time, but since these questions date back to way before we were here, it would be better to have them answered by one of the co-founders and the managing director, Lucia. So this Q&A session will be done by Lucia. The floor is all yours.
Hey there, it's Lucia here. I'm ready to answer 2 questions you've been asking. So the first question is, how does a game get 900 downloads? Well, I guess you're referring to our game We Were Here in our minor. So to start from the beginning of the story, we followed a game design and development minor back in 2016. We were students and we were at a bachelor's in Rotterdam, the Netherlands, where we followed this specific study. That's where I met the team I'm actually till today still with. We're only with 6 right now, but we once started with a team of 15 students. The goal of our studies was to create a 3D platform game within 14 weeks. It was just 14 weeks. And we needed to have like 1,000 downloads to pass our course and to get a good grade. So we were quite sure of our concept. We wanted to make like this co-op puzzle adventure game. We had one guy in our team, he's still in our team, our game designer. His name is Benjamin, and he was like an encyclopedia with all these ideas, and he knew so many games. So he proposed us like, what do you think about like a co-op game? It was still like a genre that basically only Keep Talking Nobody Explodes and Portal like we're working with, Portal 2. And we had the feeling like, yeah, we think there's not enough of these kind of games. We should really do something with this genre. We thought it was very interesting. So we knew it was a tough ride, but we still went for it, even though it was kind of a niche. So we put our concept of our puzzle adventure co-op game on Steam Greenlight. There was still a Steam Greenlight back in the days. Now it's not there anymore, I guess. But not our game yet, just our concept. Because we didn't have a game yet. We were still full on in development, and we didn't have a game. So we put our concept on Steam Greenlight, and we got like a few comments from people, and actually people liked our concept. There was this moment that we passed Steam Greenlight just on the base of our concept, but we still had no game. So then it was actually the day that we had to hand in our assignment. This was the 3rd of February in 2017. I organized like this big release party in a location in Rotterdam to celebrate that we launched our games. It was us together with 2 other teams who had 2 other games, which was really exciting because we organized this whole party, like a few hundred people came. We had a little press, but still we had really nothing solid. We didn't have already some downloads, we didn't have already feedback from players, we just had our concept online, and at that moment we launched our game. And actually while we put it online, I remember Chris, who's also one of our game designers, he came up to me and he was like, have you seen the Steam page? Have you seen like the backend? And I was like, no, because I was entertaining guests and talking about the game. And he was like, we have already 10,000 downloads. And I can remember that moment so well. I was like, what's happening? Do we have 10,000 downloads? Yeah, come on, have a look. And we saw like every 10 minutes we looked at the backend of our Steam partner page. And we saw like the downloads just rising and rising and rising. And it was absolutely amazing. Of course, the party was 1,000 times better because of what happened. We were very pleased. Our teachers like congratulated us, and they were very happy, of course, with that. We scored so well also with people, but we had no idea it would blow up this big. Of course, we passed that evening. We passed and we got a really good grade. I think from the Dutch grading system, you have like from a 1 to 10, and we got basically a 9. So we had like 10,000 downloads at the first night, like the launch night. And I think in the first month, we had 200,000. So I could say we were pretty happy. That's why we decided to go on with Total Mayhem Games and make it into a real thing. Then up to our second question, which is, did you expect the game to do so well? Of course not. Everyone told us it's a niche. You will get some attention because it's like a co-op game and you have like something that isn't already really out there. But nobody expected it to blow up so big. So even though everyone said it's a niche, everyone said like, you're taking a risk, right? Like, we can't be sure if you make it out there, and we don't know what will happen with your game. So we at least hope that you have like enough downloads to pass the grade. But we still stood ground, and we hope that we would have like this first night at least, of course, 1,000, because otherwise we wouldn't pass. But we hope that maybe in the most lucky of scenarios, we would have like maybe 10,000, because we already got like some good feedback from players. But then, as I said before, it was like 200,000 in the first month. We got another 200,000 in the month after. And we got like hundreds of thousands in the first year. Right now, I just checked it, we have over 3 million players who played We Were Here alone. That's without We Were Here 2, We Were Here together. But I still have to pinch myself basically every day that I'm in the situation that I am right now, together with my friends and my partners who started this game with me. As I said, we started the game with 15 people. 9 of them decided not to go through with it, so we ended up with 6 people, and we together founded Total Mayhem Games. I'm still very happy that we are still all together and that we're still just as passionate about this game forever, for example, as we were making We Were Here. Actually, with all the attention that we got from We Were Here, we had the opportunity to attract some people and to gain some money to make We Were Here 2. With the money that we made from We Were Here 2, we were able to get more people and more interest for We Were Here Together. And now from We Were Here Together, we're funding We Were Here Forever. So it all worked out really great, and I'm really looking forward to the launch of We Were Here Forever and all the amazing things that we will probably make in the future. So I think I covered both questions here. Thank you so much for listening. And now I'm giving the floor back to Nena. So here you go. Nena, the floor is yours.
One thing I really love about this season is wearing warm and comfy clothes, covering myself in blankets, drinking hot tea, putting on thick socks, watching Netflix, playing games on the other side, and just be chill and comfy. Can you relate? Because then I might have some inspiration for you. Because you can now comfy up your gaming space with our Cozy Season Survival Pack. We have awesome sweaters, sweatpants, socks, mugs, blankets, hoodies, beanies, and much more. So now you can be comfy, warm, show your love for your favorite game, and look cool all at the same time. Or should I say look warm and cozy, because that's what it is. It's all of it, actually. Anyway, this could also be a fun Christmas present for example, the buddy you played We Were Here with, or one of your family members, or simply yourself. So go and check out our Christmas merch and all the other items by going to totalmayhemmerch.com or by clicking on the link that I put in the description. Our artists are currently working very hard on We Were Here Forever to give it that final We Were Here touch that you've come to love so much. We can't spoil you guys with all the fun stuff all at once, of course, because teasing means that we will show you guys bits and pieces every now and then. But I'll start by showing you a model that we are very proud of, and we think that this turned out amazing. So I'll show you a statue of the king. So this started off as this and then got polished into this to then eventually become this. So I will not give you any more details about how, where, what, and when you will see this statue, but we're very proud of this. And that's enough for now. More sneak peeks next time. Then last podcast we asked you guys the question, which game do you think was the inspiration for creating the first game? So the answer to this is mostly Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. I saw that some of you guessed it right, so congrats for that. During the development of the first game, We Were Here, a large part of the team would occasionally gather together after hours of work to relax, to hang out, play board games, and to play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. And it's the asymmetrical aspect of the game in combination with the time pressure and the fun that you have with each other in describing everything that you see was a huge inspiration for We Were Here. While Keep Talking is based on describing very practical objects, the team working on We Were Here wanted to experiment with more very weird symbols and be in a more 3D environment just to see how that would work out. And that is actually one of the things that has become so popular and loved in the We Were Here series, and has resulted into a lot of fun and memorable moments between our players. Aside from Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, there were also several other games that were an inspiration for We Were Here. And these were Portal 2, Myst, and Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Also, fun fact, did you know that during the very early stages of developing the game We Were Here, and even up until now, we sometimes test puzzles and challenges by actually locking two people up in two separate rooms with different objects and observe how they pass the test and if the type of puzzle works or not, or by recreating the puzzle in like a smaller version in real life. And of course, we cannot end today's mayhem without giving you another question to think about until next time. So today's question is, how many hours do you think it took to create the first game We Were Here? We're very curious about your answers, so leave your answers down in the comments below and we will discuss this again in the next podcast. Also, if you have any other question about our games, about the studio, or any fun story to share about your experiences in Castle Rock, for example, then feel free to leave these down below as well, and we might discuss your question or your story in the next Today's Mayhem. So that brings us to an end. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope to see you guys again in the next Today's Mayhem. Have a nice day and see you soon.